Okay, right here. See this spot? These are Mark III Argons, and I love them. Travel over here to an unmodified, mostly, pair of T60 RPs, tuned by Fostex. If you go right in the middle, T60 Argons. Okay, so I've had this pair for like 2 years. And Ryan at Modhouse sent them over, and this is like the best revision of Argon. I kind of wish they were balanced, because you had to custom balance this. If you wanted to get balanced, you can get a little more power to certain amps. And I'm running off the Bass X, which is like, that's my preferred amplifier, is the Emotiva Bass X for these. And these are using the cowhide pads, or are they protein leather? I don't know. They're the heavy leather ones. And if I had to define Mark III Argons, which I do all the time, and people are like, hey, what headphones should I get for this? And I'm like, well, do you like wide, warm, dark, bassy? Do you want to just like stressful day at work, come home, put on a set of Argon Mark IIIs, put your feet up, pass the fuck out. That's these. These stock T50s, which I have in a box behind me, are they're like a rough edged knife. They're like a knife that's been sharpened on a rock, and it's got like, some grit to it. Like, it could be fun. You put the right pads on it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's aggressive and fun. But like, oh, that's the jet plane / my air conditioner. It's trying to save my life, but I'm going to tell it not to, because humidity is my favorite. But the T50 standards are a little bit like gritty. And then I have the T20s up there, which are, except for the pads, stock, and those are a little bit more open back and a little more bass. And when the Mark II Argons came out, and then the Mark III Argons, they really went for this like wide Soundstage. I want to say dark. A lot of people think that dark means like, oh, dark, I don't want a dark headphone. No, you do. You want to not have knives dragged across your eye, like open eye sockets. You don't want that. You want a headphone that just steps it back a bit. Just steps it back. And then the exact opposite was when these came out, and Fostex makes these. Like, this is not a mod. This is Fostex. They machine out this wood cup to match the plastic wood cup. And it's like, wow, you went through a lot of trouble there, Fostex. I appreciate it. And the sound signature on these was what I thought was the best they could get out of a T50 driver. I changed out this headband with one from Understated Leather Products of Montreal. You see right there. And it's a foof. It's a foof head strap. And those are stock pads, and it comes stock balanced. You can run stock balanced signal. I'm currently running this off the Rebel amp, which for this particular pair runs it just fine. Medium gain, 12 o'clock, we're good. And what these do is clarity, sharpness, right in your face, almost too much. But I still loved them, because it was still like, it was T50s were like, ooh, this is an unrefined pair of T50s, T20s. Then you came over here, and this is the best Fostex can do. And then if you wanted to back away, you got the Mark III Argons, and now we have the T60 Argons, and it's only taken me like 4 minutes to get here. I've talked about every other headphone, even ones that are imaginary. I've talked about them, but now we're on to you. You see, Ryan at Modhouse, now, since he could do this. Look, he could absolutely, this headphone is the same driver in a T50, T20, T40. And you just modify it, and you can make every headphone exactly the same. But he's bored with Mark III Argons sounding all the same. And he's like, well, why would I make this just a wood option? So he was testing when I met him at CanJam 2019. Yeah, it was 2019. He had a set of black plastic T50s for, it doesn't matter what it was, because it had different tuning. When he opens these up, what he does at Modhouse is he gets these from Fostex, he rips them apart, takes the drivers out, replaces the paper sheeting or the anything foam, whatever you want to call it, around the driver. He pads the inside, he changes things, he moves things, and that's how you tune something. You just get in there and you fuck with it. And the way the Mark IIIs are currently set up is the way all Mark IIIs are. But what he had that day was a tuning he wanted to use on this. Because when he rips apart one of these and it's wood and it's different, he said, oh, I could do this and this and this. and this. And he's like, try this. And I went, put that in a headphone. Daddy Zeos requires it. So he has done something similar. This headphone doesn't sound like this. And it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like both of them. So take the width of the Argons, then take that added detail boost of the 60s, and you have T60 Argons. And the closest thing, and I'm going to repeat this, I said it once to my patrons, the closest thing to the experience that I could think about this is when I finished fucking with the Verite closed, the like $2,500 ZMFs. Because those, when you got it just right, were like this big, warm but detailed place you were. And this doesn't beat the Verite closed, but it's a hell of a good crib sheet. This is the Cliff's Notes for Verite closed. And I say that with all respect to the Verite closed, and even more respect for Modhouse for being able to pull off that sort of like I have them all. This the first time was today, was when I got them all set up. I got this one set up on an amp that I trust. I got this one set up on an amp that I know I love it on. And I got this set up on this Flux slab. This is the non-balanced one, but I'm using the balanced cable. And the UNS 8, like this is the ultimate stack for something. And holy shit. Holy shit. We are here. We are here. We're going to add another fucking Fostex to my wall. Will I take the Mark IIIs off? I don't know yet. Will I take the T60s off? That's more likely. It's more likely that I would remove these from the wall than these. Because these are different. And these are different. But they're both, it's like, they made like a smooch baby. I don't know which side goes into which to make headphone. It's exactly the sound that happens when you make babies. Stroke my audiophile beard while Marilyn Manson plays. And honestly, what finally sold me on the headphones, like fully, was I was playing audiophile shit. Audiophile shit is great and everything. It's when it shuffled to like the most heavy duty fuck music. And I went, wow, this sounds really good even on this. Skip forward. Skip forward. Wait. I mean, that's impossibly harsh and grating. And I can't stop listening to it. On these, it would not be, I would not, no. Like, I know their line. I know what they're good at. But there's a line. And these are just so dark and soft and wide that, like, you can listen to anything on them. This requires a little more discipline in your playlist. That's the only thing, is these require immense discipline in your playlist. You cannot have Marilyn Manson. And I mean, if you do, more power to you. It's just that I don't think I could. Let's just try it. Ready? Let's try it. Let's give it a twist. They don't come up with enough low end to fix that the highs are killing me. And these, like, I'm far away and back, and it's like, yeah, it's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. But these, with, by the way, Periapt cable, if you want to order them, you can get them with the Periapt cable, which is very, very thick and black and balanced, which is nice. These are a perfect balanced headphone. And I don't mean balanced like the plug. I mean, like, they do wide, but not too wide. And they have bass. But when I first got them, and people were asking me how do they compare to the Argons, I hadn't taken down my Argons and listened in a while. And I assumed that the bass had been dropped a little bit to bring up the highs. And then I found one track that had like this really like deep, like, at the end of it. And I repeated it over and over and over and over and over. Between this and this and this and this. This doesn't even count. This doesn't fucking care. But this and this. And it's the same amount of low end. But it's just everything above low end is more and better. Stop. I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, oh shit, Zeos, I own Mark III Argons. Now I gotta sell them because they're garbage. No. These are just different flavors of ice cream. Ice cream's not bad just because it's chocolate or vanilla. If it's strawberry, it's crap. But I mean, if it's chocolate and vanilla or mint, they're all good ice creams. And I like cookies and cream. By the way, it's cookies and cream. And this is like cookies and cream, but made in the Oreo factory, and they're just swimming in the fucking cream. I get out of these headphones everything I want out of an audiophile class headphone. Like it's remarkably warm while still being incredibly detailed, and there's width. But because there's more in the treble area, it doesn't sound quite as wide as those. But then only certain frequencies sound wide, and then some other frequencies sound closer, which is why in my mind I was like, oh, these must be a lot narrower than those. They're not. They can't be narrower. Look how far away everything is with these, which pads are these? These are the ZMF suedes. Oh, I love suedes. So, and the pads are part of the tuning too. Like this has closed back pads, and I could put these pads on this. It will not make the Mark III sound like this because it doesn't correspond with the changes he's made internally. And I can't put these pads on this, and it'll sound like Mark III. It's all a cohesive mess. The greatest, like, what the hell is that sheepskin stomach food? Haggis. This is acoustical haggis. Because there's so many things going on inside of here. I'm sure it's like a 12-step process that Ryan has to do to get things out and then change, then put it back in. And you just get... And they're not open back. The T60s, these claim to be like a semi-open, I guess, with these 3 slots. And these... they're baby verite closed. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know how he did that, but oh, and I play the music loud on them. I don't have to play the music loud, but I can. These are probably the most audiophile. These, I don't know if you'd qualify them as audiophile. When you put enough power through them with the right amp and you got them balanced and you have the right type of music, I could say, okay, these pass as like, you know, somebody that's an audiophile that's sort of on the relaxed end of audiophilia. And these are the best consumer Fostex T50 mod. They brought up the treble, like they completely killed the low end, but look at this fucking thing. I mean, despite the incredible leather strap, look at this fucking headphone. This is sex. So now take sex and then have someone go inside of sex and manufacture better sound out of sex. And that's what we're listening to here. Because it's I would put this on a table at Can Jam, on any table. We know where they have, like, they're testing out $50,000 amplifiers, and oh, look at our DAT. These should be on every one of those tables. It should be like Empyreans. It should be Verite closed. It should be T60 Argons. And it should be a set of Abyss fucking Dianas. That's what every table should have. And maybe HG600s, because I can't deny those. And Neumanns, because NDH20s don't get enough play at these shows. There they are. Both my sets. And I asked the Sennheiser rep, by the way, getting off track a little bit. I asked, hey, Sennheiser, why don't you bring Neumanns to Can Jam? And they're like, oh, that's our commercial line. We don't want to deal with, like, that's more commercial. Fuck you. Headphones make sound go. Put a set of Neumanns here. These should be there, though. These are more balanced, I'm going to say again, for detail and fun than any other headphone in the price range. They're special too. Like, this is automatically special. When I did the T60, I gushed. Like, why did they take a piece of wood and machine it into the exact same shape as the plastic thing? They didn't need to do that. Why would they do that? But they did it, which makes it special. So you take that special headphone and you re-up the specialness so that when you listen to High School of the Dead. That is an audio file. Bullshit, it ain't. The cups are shaking. And it's not like they're bassy. That's just what the song calls for. I hate finding like my new favorite headphone every like third week, but you kind of like my new favorite headphone for right this minute. I mean, you just mark down the time. It's July. It's early, mid-July. Zeos found his new headphone. Mark the time. It's like when time of death. They mark the time, and then you wait, and then 2 weeks later, Grado GW100, one of the best open back headphones I've ever used. I reviewed that like 2 weeks ago. And now this. And I don't know if I'd call this closed back, but I mean, I'm pretty much going to call it a closed back. Just because I feel like people are searching for the best closed back. And if I look at my wall, honestly look at my wall. $1,800 set of Ether C flows, closed back, open. M40Xs, very good set of closed back. Best closed back in the world? No. T20s are open. Oh, there you go. Stellias, $3,000. I'd probably pick these over those for most listening duties. How's that? I respect the hell out of them. They aren't on my wall because I don't like them, but I don't put the Stellias on to have fun. I put the Stellias on because they're the most expensive headphone. And they do detail that the most expensive headphone can do. But then when I'm done testing whatever I'm testing, they come off and they go back on the wall. I might legitimately re-listen to certain albums now that I have these T60 Argons. The new Run the Jewels, the 4. I listened to it on some speakers. I don't remember which ones. They weren't like, but it was all right. It was all right. And I skipped through tracks and I got to one on these and I'm like, what song is this? I'd heard the song before, but I'd never actually paid attention. So these headphones do a very, very, very good job of making you pay attention to your music. And that's all you could ask a headphone to do. Brian May, Max Decides on Vengeance, from the original Mad Max. I wish you could see my whole body language, because I'm just like I'm putting my hand like, how do I describe this? How do I describe this? Like where these sounds are coming from, the leveling, why that horn is piercing, but it's not piercing. How could I hear it right there? And then the imaging is fucking wildly accurate. Wildly accurate. This has no imaging compared to these. The original Argon Mark IIIs are just like, it's like the drivers are set back here. And they just play and it's soft and warm and it massages the back of your head. And these are just like, right across your temples with the detail. And these are literally right in the middle. Right in the middle, just this perfect blend of dolphins swimming in synchronous dolphin swimming. Zeos is the only person that'll ever compare the way a headphone sounds to that. I hope. More Marilyn Manson. Devour. See, that was an S. That was an S. That was a little bit like, lower that like a notch. But I have it up loud. So that's the only thing you might, maybe on the most thing is go, wow, that's a lot of S. This will happen way earlier. This you probably won't notice it at all, but this is just perfectly at that line where detail is there in your fucking face, but it doesn't hurt unless you're playing your shit too loud. So this is it. This is the one. This is the Neo of headphones. And it actually pained me a little bit to listen to these after these, because I know that they're from the same stock. But Fostex, you could have done so much more with the 60. If you have 60s, here's the thing. Ryan from Modhouse actually had to go out of stock on Argons because he was at 14 weeks delay, because he makes these all by hand. And coronavirus is happening. He can't have employees because he builds them all in his house and he's got a family and he can't do it. So he's literally killing himself to keep up with demand. And he had to stop the orders from coming in because he doesn't want to put people off for 4 fucking months. So when you see this, you're probably not going to be able to get them. You could still probably put in an order. He also was running out of like Fostex T anything. All the T's were running out. I think there might still have some of the 60s. If you already own 60s, I'm going to implore you to contact him and see if you could send your set in for a modification. Because he has all the stuff. He just goes whoop, whoop. Probably I think he told me it takes him like 3 hours to do a mod, to mod one of these. He undercharges, by the way. If there's a way to tip the person who's building it, a lot of websites would be like, you know, here's a thing, you know, add a note that says, I would like to pay you more. Ryan, hi, I want to pay you more. He should be charging more for these because companies like Mr. Speakers and ZMF made it by modifying essentially the same fucking headphones, T50s. They charged a hell of a lot more or did a hell of a lot less. They made enough bank to literally start, you know, ZMF's headphones exist. Mr. Speaker's headphones exist. They both were modding houses. And literally a Modhouse called Modhouse is still fucking around with these because he doesn't charge enough or he's taking too much time. He's a perfectionist. I know Ryan. I've met him many times. And he will not let something out of his hands that isn't perfect. And if something goes wrong, he'll take it back and fix it. He's not a ruthless businessman like he needs to be. He needs to have that ruthless, like, you know what? $500. These should be $500 fucking dollars easy. These are $300 from the default. For the work he does, not including the pads, should be $500, $550, $600. If I had to put a price on the T60 Argons for their sound alone, it would be in the above $600 range. Around $1,000? Around $1,000? Do I want to fucking say that? Looking at Autors, yeah, you know what? These are $1,000 set of headphones, and you're not going to pay $1,000 because Ryan will never charge you. You could pay me extra, and then I'll give him like a Christmas gift. But it's a little more confusing. So I did the sound demo for these, and I'm not sure how perfect it came out because planars and closed back. I know I've recommended headphones to people that cost way more than this that don't perform as well over the years. Just over the years. This is one of those leaps of like, how did you do this with paper and clay? It's paper, clay, time, and talent. It's 4 things that make a headphone mod go. Headphone mods go. Tuned to these pads with these drivers with those mods, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful fucking thing. I hope you can buy a set, because once these videos come out and this gets like 12,000 views in the first day, maybe 1% of those people want to buy one. That's 120 orders. That's a lot. I feel for the guy. I hate how about this? Let's offset the sales by saying, these suck. Jump to this time code. These fucking things are garbage. I'm lying, but I mean, I could say that, and maybe that throw off 3 or 4 sales. Give the guy a break. Wallpaper is in the description. Patreon and Subscribestar, which will be paying to get me out of this place, are in the description. You can see all these reviews early, and that's going to be key in this situation when the wait list for these is 14 weeks and they're out of stock, but the wait list for this is not. And if you're a patron or Subscribestar subscriber, you might just be able to get on that list way earlier than the public. That is one of the benefits of supporting Zeos. I also give you coupon codes and stuff and let you in on the good secrets. But see all these reviews early. Ask me any questions about on platform. Message me on there. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. We'll go back and forth. I don't want to just be, don't hand me a book and say, here, and then you get one answer. Just, I have this question about things and this is my budget. Okay, well, what about open or close? And then you come back and forth. I like a conversation more than I like just burp. Yard sales. Would I yard sale that? Fuck. I would take the strap back off. This is too nice. That was a gift. I would take that strap off. You know, I might put that strap on here, even though this is another thing that Ryan changes out. I think this is deerskin. I think this one's deerskin. He's definitely improved this. It's thicker and softer and hand sewn, I think. He does way too much work. Way too much work for what he charges. I do way too much work. I do way too little work for what I charge, but I mean, it's the internet. But yeah, no, yard sales happen from the 1st to the 10th of every month, and there's items that I get, and there's items that I've had that I might decide to sell. There's items that have been gifted to me. There's items that I've bought. And you can pick those up for cheap for shipping, because I pay for shipping US, and it's half shipping if I sell something internationally. And that happens from the 1st to the 10th, and it's a 0 start bid, and you go from there. Check out Hi-Fi Guides, which is a site where you'll... I don't know if I'll add these to Hi-Fi Guides. I don't want to... Because we do get a bunch of clicks on there, and I don't want to link them to this and then have them go there too. Like, as much as someone wants business... Too much business makes it look like you're not doing your job, because it's like, I've been waiting for 3 months for these headphones, which is what you'll be doing. So you don't want to have a negative stigma because you take a long time because you do too good of work. It's very weird balance business. I don't like it. But yeah, Hi-Fi Guide does that, and the forums is the forum started by me, myself, and Dimas, and it's a pretty good place. I like it a lot. I don't go there often enough. I'm sorry if I don't answer your questions or your ats. I'm losing my fucking mind. And if I had to talk headphones on my off time, it'd be real bad. So anyway, sound demo in the description. Links to these. Be gentle with the links. Make sure you tell them Z Reviews sent you. And I guess I'll link to every revision of the T60 mod ever, Zeos. You hate me in the future? Future Zeos hates past Zeos, because Future Zeos just has to go do some shit now. And yeah, we're good here. We are very good. Check out the sound demo. It'll be out tomorrow. I hope it came out well. I edited it, but I wasn't really paying attention, because usually it's whatever it is. And nothing happened when I snapped my fingers. Just felt like doing that. Isn't that great?